prison. In prison, Joseph faced yet another difficult situation. He was now a prisoner, isolated from the world, and far from the dreams he once had. But even in this dire circumstance, Joseph did not lose hope. His faith in God remained unshaken. In prison, Joseph, the dreamer, found favor in the eyes of the prison warden, who entrusted him with responsibilities and tasks. Even in the darkest of places, Joseph's integrity and wisdom shone through. In prison, Joseph encountered two fellow prisoners, Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker. Both men had dreams, and they were troubled by the meanings of these dreams. Joseph, the dreamer, interpreted their dreams with God's help. He accurately interpreted the cupbearer's dream, telling him that he would be restored to his position in 3 days. Encouraged by Joseph's interpretation, the cupbearer was filled with hope. However, Joseph also interpreted the baker's dream, revealing that he would be hanged in 3 days. The baker's fate was not as favorable. Joseph's interpretations came to pass exactly as he had foretold. The cupbearer was restored to his position, but he soon forgot about Joseph and did not mention him to Pharaoh as he had promised. Joseph, the dreamer, remained in prison, seemingly forgotten and forsaken. But God had not forgotten Joseph. He had plans for him that were far beyond what Joseph could have imagined. One night, Pharaoh himself had two troubling dreams that none of his wise men could interpret. It was then that the cupbearer remembered Joseph and his unique ability to interpret dreams. Joseph was quickly summoned from the prison to appear before Pharaoh. In Pharaoh's presence, Joseph, the dreamer, once again acknowledged God as the true interpreter of dreams. Pharaoh recounted his dreams. In the first dream, 7 fat cows were devoured by 7 skinny cows, and in the second dream, 7 healthy ears of grain were swallowed by 7 thin and blighted ears. Joseph, inspired by God, interpreted these dreams. He explained that both dreams had the same meaning. Egypt would experience 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of severe famine. Joseph didn't stop at interpreting the dreams. He also proposed a plan to Pharaoh to manage the abundance during the years of plenty and store food for the upcoming famine. Pharaoh, recognizing Joseph's wisdom and God-given insight, appointed him as the governor of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh himself. Joseph, the dreamer, had risen from the depths of the prison to become the most powerful man in Egypt, all because of his God-given ability to interpret dreams and his unwavering faith in the face of trials and tribulations. As Joseph predicted, Egypt experienced 7 years of abundant harvests, during which he implemented his plan to store grain. When the famine struck, not only Egypt, but also the surrounding regions were affected. Jacob, Joseph's father, heard that there was grain in Egypt and sent his sons, including Joseph's brothers, to buy food. When the brothers arrived in Egypt, they were brought before Joseph, the governor, although they did not recognize him. This encounter marked a turning point in Joseph's story. He had the power to seek revenge on his brothers for what they had done to him years ago, but instead, he chose a different path. He tested his brothers to see if they had changed, if they had truly repented for their past actions. Joseph, the dreamer, wanted to know if they had learned from their mistakes and if they had become better men. After putting his brothers through a series of tests and revealing his true identity to them, Joseph forgave them. He understood that what his brothers had meant for evil, God had used for good. Joseph's forgiveness and compassion towards his brothers demonstrated his immense character and the depth of his faith in God. He welcomed his family to Egypt, providing them with food and a new home, and reconciled with his father Jacob before his passing. Joseph's story is a testament to the power of faith, forgiveness, and perseverance. Despite the trials and tribulations he faced, he remained faithful to God and never lost hope. Through his unwavering faith, he not only saved the people of Egypt and his own family from starvation, but also demonstrated the importance of forgiveness and love, even in the face of betrayal and adversity. Joseph's journey, from being a dreamer with a colorful coat to becoming the second most powerful man in Egypt, is a powerful and inspiring story that continues to resonate with people across the world. It teaches us valuable lessons about trust in God, the strength of the human spirit, and the transformative power of forgiveness. Joseph's legacy lives on, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, faith, hope, and love can light the way to a brighter future.